I haven't finished my point.
I'm going to call the Honourable Phil Goff.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't going to take a call on this, but frankly, I'm outraged that we've had a minister in the chair tonight that is either asleep, too damn arrogant to respond to valid questions that are being asked of him, or he's afraid and frozen to his seat because he can't answer the questions that have been asked of him. It is an absolute outrage that that minister, his first piece of legislation that he stuffed up so much that we have a bill in front of us that says that we're debating the Crown Minerals Amendment Act, amendment to the Crown Minerals Act 2013. We were in this House 6 weeks ago, Minister. How was it that you were so ill-prepared, that you were so incompetent, that you brought legislation into the House that has this many errors? Why is it that you brought in legislation that abridges the fundamental rights of people for freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly? You brought it in by an SOP after the... No, I'm sorry, Mr Tish, you didn't bring it in. The minister brought it in. You would never have done such a thing. The minister brought in a legislation that abridges fundamental rights of New Zealanders through an SOP after the Select Committee had met, so he never had to front up, and the government members, trembling in their bloody seats, never had to front up at the Select Committee to answer the question of why they were doing things that are totally without justification. And the Attorney-General sits there and interjects from his seat, but he's never taken a call. What is the role of the Attorney-General if not the watchdog of the fundamental rights of New Zealanders, the right to freedom of speech, the right to assembly, the right to protest? I think it was Grant Robinson that was speaking before about the proud tradition of New Zealand being nuclear-free. And it was a proud tradition that I remember when Norman Kirk farewelled the Otago, the frigate Otago, to go up to protest against French nuclear testing in Mururoa. And now the National Party would say, wasn't that a wonderful thing? It was the right of protest actually exercised by the Government of New Zealand. And then I remember when I was a young member like Mr Bridges in this House, I was out on the harbour in Auckland and Wellington protesting about nuclear-armed submarines and ships coming into New Zealand, and now the National Party would want to claim credit for some of that policy. So why is it that New Zealanders are so proud about the way in which we have used the right of protest at sea to achieve our goals, that this minister can bring back a bill into the House that abridges those fundamental rights? But he doesn't just stop there, because not only does he want to abridge the fundamental rights of protest in our territorial waters, but he wants to extend it to our exclusive economic zone and on or above the continental shelf. Now, my question to Mr Bridges is this, if he actually knows the answer to it, but I suspect that he's stuffed up yet again. How does he claim the right to legislate for the waters and under and on the surface of the waters of our exclusive economic zone and above the continental shelf when he doesn't have that right under law? How is he legislating to extend the outrage of stopping protest within New Zealand's territorial water to the waters that we do not even have the right to legislate over? That question has been asked time and again of the minister in the chair. How many times has the minister got up to answer a question in the House? Mr Chairman, isn't it the role of the Committee of the Whole of the House that members of the House ask questions of the minister, and the minister is sufficiently competent, courageous and ready to get up and answer those questions? And that minister hasn't got out of his chair. We are debating this at 11:35 at night, and not one of the members of the government have the guts to stand up and to defend the legislation that they've got in this bill. And that is an outrage.
The member can't... I'll ask the member just to withdraw that comment. You can't say that it implies that the member doesn't have courage. So I ask the member to withdraw that comment.
I'll withdraw that, Mr Chairman. They don't have the intestinal fortitude to get out of their seats and to debate legislation, to make excuses for their incompetence or to defend what they're doing in the House tonight. The first time they try to bring this in, they bring it in by an SOP that doesn't go to a select committee. This time they don't even take that chance. They rush it through all its stages under urgency late on a Friday night when they hope no New Zealanders are listening to the outrage that they're perpetrating.
I'm going to call Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Mr Chairman, we're in the position at the moment of debating late on a Friday night because we haven't had the benefit